Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday and happy mid September. I hope that you all are having a fantastic September and end of summer. I guess I can officially say that um, as fall is fast approaching. I also hope that everyone has had a good back to school. My oldest is he's in kindergarten, and so he is definitely enjoying it and is excited to be at school. He likes the concept of homework right now. Um, I don't think that will last very long. But I would love to know how everyone is doing, how your September is going so far. It just seems to be, time just seems to be flying by. But I hope everyone is doing well. I'd love to hear how you're doing. So comment below, say hi. I also would love to know what your guys' thoughts are on, are you feeling the fall like stew weather, the cravings for chili and those various soups and stews now that things are starting to cool down? If you are, I am also in that camp. But I would love to know, what are some of your favorite soups and stews that you crave and enjoy this time of year? Do you like the squash soups? Do you like the chilies? Um, just the various stews out there. Like, I would just love to know. Right now, we've been craving chili in our house, so we made some on Monday. Yep, Monday. And we always make enough to then have throughout the week so that, okay, we don't have to think about dinner for every night. We know we have leftovers, especially on those busy nights. But right now, chili is our big thing. And we do a lot with like black beans and chili. I guess I just do a variety of beans. Whatever is on hand. That's what I love about it. And that's what I love about soups and stews in general. Like, literally look at the ingredients that you have. If you have bone broth already made, or if you have bones to use to make a bone broth, or even store bought, like if you use Kettle and Fire, um, like, what do you have in your cupboard that you can just throw in a crock pot and let simmer all day long? That is the best thing about stews and soups. And then you get to smell it too, which, oh, I love it. I love this time of year, although I really love summer. But when it comes to like food, I really love soup and stew and chili type weather, and those types of foods. So that's today's topic, is all about the healing benefits of broth, but really looking at those soups and stews even more and how they can really be beneficial for your body. So again, that it's this time of year, weather is starting to cool down. Those cravings are starting to amp up for those warmer foods so that you can feel cozy and warm inside, and just embrace the weather and embrace where you are right now. And while these cravings do take over, there is more to them as well. So a lot of times our bodies will crave things, and it's meaning that we're needing something else. So this craving of those warm foods and those stews to make you feel cozy and good inside, and just make you feel, oh gosh, the words, man, they are very hard. um It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Um, the nostalgia, but also the comfort foods. There we go. It's just to feel comfort. Um, this time of year, is big on that. And a lot of times our body is saying, hey, those types of foods, we are needing a break from digestion. We are needing more nutrients in our body. We are needing the warmth to help us. We're needing the hydration. There are so many components as to why your body could be craving these foods at this time. And it's so cool because it coincides. A lot of these soups and stews are great for our immune system. And this is where our immune system really amps up, because the weather is cooling down. If you're indoors more, there's more viruses and stuff that travel faster. So our body's like, let's gear up, let's get that immune system top notch so that we can fight whatever comes at us. So I want to dive in, and this is just going to be a nice chat. It's going to be pretty quick. But if you have any questions or comments or anything on this topic, please post it in the comments below. I would love to have the conversation and bring you the information, or have you bring the information regarding soups and stews and chilies and all of that. So how I'm going to go about it is I'm really just going to kind of break down what a soup or a stew would have inside of it. And we're going to go over the benefits of these different components. And then, I'll bring up some overall benefits in general at the end too. So first, our biggest main ingredient when it comes to a chili, a soup, or a stew is the broth. This is going to be your base component. Ideally, we want it to be a bone broth because it contains more nutrients within it. The bone broth has more healing components to it, especially to your digestive system. Oh, that was hard. But it contains gelatin. So it's essentially what gelatin is essentially it's cooked collagen. And these bone broths are higher in protein. So a lot of healing components. Our bodies are made, our proteins are made up of amino acids. Our tissues are made up of all these proteins. We have protein all over our body doing a whole bunch of work. And so we need to continue to nourish these building blocks and bring in these building blocks so that our body can continuously repair, especially if we do come down with illness. But for us battling fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and autoimmune conditions, our body is under chronic need for repair. Our gut lining is in chronic need for repair as well. And so that's where this bone broth can really come in and help. So bone broth contains key amino acids that are easily depleted in our body during times of stress. So whether we are sick with an illness, maybe we've had a surgery, maybe you've given birth, or some sort of traumatic physical or even emotional, mental type stressor can really wreak havoc on the body. And again, for those of us with the fibromyalgia, autoimmune conditions, I mean, majority of us in general with chronic stress, our body is easily depleting these essential amino acids during these stressful times. So that's where these soups, stews, broths are a great way to replenish those amino acids, especially if you're using those bone broths as the base. So some of these amino acids are glycine. So this is an important amino acid for the production of your DNA and your RNA, your hemoglobin, bile salts within the body, stomach acid secretions, and reducing inflammation. So glycine helps build proteins needed for tissue and hormone maintenance as well, can help improve sleep, reduce muscle loss, and it helps produce a powerful antioxidant called glutathione in the body. So glutathione is the major antioxidant for the body. It is the biggest, most powerful antioxidant. So we want to make sure that we are keeping it replenished and keeping it up there, especially for our immune system to fight. And glycine is also the main amino acid in collagen as well. So then there is proline, which contributes to healthy collagen production in our skin and our arteries, helps heal cartilage and cushion our joints. Again, for us battling, joint pain or muscle pain or just overall pain in the body, collagen and having enough collagen and replenishing it within the body can really be helpful. So proline also helps the body break down proteins to use within our body. So we need this. We need to break down our proteins so that we can use them. So proline is really important in that process. Glutamine is important in digestive and immune health. It is important for muscle building and healthy brain function. It helps repairing our gut lining and therefore can aid in healing of a leaky gut, which a lot of us are walking around with, and a lot of us with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, autoimmune conditions, we have leaky gut. Majority of us have leaky gut thanks to all of the toxins that we come in contact with every day, and just the Western diet and all of the fun stuff. So glutamine is really, really helpful in repairing that leaky gut and repairing that gut lining. Bone broth also contains proteoglycans, which are large, complex molecules. They are made up of proteins and sugars, and they attract and hold water. So they can help provide cushioning and lubrication to your joints and connective tissues, and especially important in recovering from surgery or illness. And also supports healthy aging. If you think of like hyaluronic acid, that is a proteoglycan, and we know that that is really helpful for the nice skin and keeping that supple look to the skin. Bone broth in general aids in digestion, supports the mucosal lining of our gastrointestinal wall, which I mentioned. It helps with our body to expel waste more effectively and stimulate cell and liver detoxification. So this bone broth in the base of our soups, stews, and chilies and all of that can really help aid in our detoxification system too, which a lot of us struggle with having a healthy and optimal detoxification process. So that's where bone broth can really come in and be helpful. And making your own bone broth with quality meat bones and ingredients, buying quality marrow bones, maybe from a local farmer. You're going to get that marrow, mixed in with your broth. You're going to get even more nutrients in there than if you were to cook your meat and put it in the freezer and then make a bone broth from it. If you get specifically like marrow bones, that can amp up that nutrition even more. Kettle and Fire, if you don't make your own homemade bone broth, is a reputable bone broth that with higher quality ingredients and just higher quality in general. So we have our base. A lot of times we'll add a protein to it. Either it's from a meat or a fish. This is going to be a great source of important nutrients like zinc and iron and iodine, vitamins B3, which is niacin, B12, which is cobalamin, omega-3 fatty acids, which are those healthy fats for our immune system, our arteries, our brain, our gut health, hormones, so many things. And then, the meat and the fish, they are going to help bring that protein to rebuild tissue, repair the body, bring in those amino acids as well. And the liquid that the meat is cooked in will hold, like if it's also put in that soup or stew or chili, it will hold those nutrients that were lost during the cooking process. Same with like vegetables and anything that you really cook. If you are boiling vegetables and you throw out that water, you're throwing out those nutrients, especially the water soluble, like B vitamins. And so including those liquids into your soup or your stew or your broth, you'll get those nutrients that would otherwise be thrown out in those liquids. You'll get those nutrients replenished again. Vegetables. A lot of times we add vegetables to these various soups and stews and chili. See, I never know whether I just always call chili, even though it to me it's also like a stew. I guess I don't know the exact categorization of that. So if someone wants to comment on that, please do. But for me, chili is just chili. It's different. It's its own category. So vegetables a lot of times are incorporated into these delicious soups and stews, and it's an easy way to get in a variety of vegetables as well. So you can get in a variety of colors into one meal, like getting in carrots, parsnips, turnips, sweet potato, squash, onions, kale, spinach, peppers, rutabagas, watercress, cabbage, broccoli, chard. Like there are so many different things that you can put, and maybe you're starting to get vegetables that are looking like they're going to go bad. You can always throw those into your soups and stews too to use them up. It's going to help you get in a variety of dietary fibers, some carbohydrates, and other vitamins and minerals like vitamins A and C, potassium, calcium, iron, magnesium, zinc, sodium. And usually sodium, I tell people to make their own homemade soups and stews. A lot of the other ones are too processed, which aren't going to be great for your immune system. You're going to have other chemicals and toxins coming in, higher sodium levels. It's not going to be the higher quality ingredients. So when you're making your own, and you add in your own, high quality salt, that's a great way of getting in electrolytes. We need sodium. It's when it comes from the processed foods that we see the problems. Because it's not good in that sense, and that's where we start to see the problems with heart failure and congestive heart failure and all of that. But when you're adding in sodium to your own homemade meals, we want to have sodium in the body. It's an important electrolyte. We are depleting ourselves of sodium pretty easily, especially if you're sweating, and having proper detoxification. We want to keep our electrolytes in balance. So, vitamin K is another great one if you're adding greens to your soups and stews. So, you're going to get in a variety of nutrients. So it also is going to bring in a variety of antioxidants and phytochemicals to help reduce inflammation, reduce oxidation in the body, reduce that stress in the body, and promote healing and well-being. Getting in a variety of herbs and spices. Oh, and it's going to help feed your good gut bacteria too. And adding in a variety of herbs and spices usually happens when you're creating your own soups and stews as well. So it brings in more flavor, it brings in polyphenols and those phytochemicals. These herbs and spices also contain medicinal properties. They're nutrient packed and potent with benefits. So think of like rosemary, basil, garlic, ginger, oregano, dill, cumin, coriander, cinnamon, turmeric, thyme, parsley, cilantro, cayenne pepper, etc. These all have so many good benefits. Sage is another good one. So there are so many medicinal benefits within these various herbs and spices. And when you add that into your soup, you're only promoting more health benefits. Mushrooms are also great and commonly added to soups and stews. So they add more flavor as well, amps up that nutrition, can bring heartiness in there that's similar to meat too. So those nutrients help boost your immune system for mushrooms. They are full of fiber, B vitamins, and then powerful antioxidants. Adding bees, don't add bees. Adding beans, lentils, and legumes are also great. So they're going to add in more of that fiber, those proteins, those complex carbs, various micronutrients that I already spoke of. They keep you fuller longer as well. So they're going to help make that dish more satisfying for you. So breaking it down, you get in so many different nutrients. You're getting in your proteins, you're getting in healthy fats, you are you're getting in so many various vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and plant compounds, but you're also getting it in a way that's much easier to digest. So soup stews and specifically bone broth contain nutrients that are much easier to digest. They are cooking over a longer period of time, um, unless you're doing it in a pressure cooker, but then you're having this higher heat. But it's containing these nutrients that your body doesn't necessarily have to break down from like raw foods. You're cooking it, you're allowing it to simmer, you're allowing those different nutrients to just permeate within the broth and within the soups and the stews. And it's just easier for your body to absorb those nutrients. So digest them, absorb them, and utilize them. It can be very difficult for our body to digest proteins or absorb certain minerals, especially if you have food sensitivities, if you have digestive issues like leaky gut, IBS, or IBD. If you are sick, it's harder for our bodies to break down foods if you're under stress from like a surgery or a birth or any sort of physical trauma. Our body tends to work on overdrive, and so we don't tend to digest our foods quite as well because our body is working so hard and it's overstressed. So we want to make digestion a lot easier for our body. And we want to provide nutrients that are easy to absorb so that they can then be utilized in the healing process. So soup, stews, and these broths are also a great way to stay hydrated when you're not feeling well, or maybe you're just not great at drinking water during the day or meeting your fluid needs. this is one way of really helping get in those liquids. Our body is like 70% water. So we want to make sure that we are replenishing it. And then again, you're delivering those various nutrients within this water, this broth vessel. So it's just it's so much easier for our body to absorb and utilize. And then those fluids can help lubricate our joints, help our organs, help our brain, um, it help our cells, just help our liver, help our kidneys, aid in that detoxification, all of that. So it's important that we're staying hydrated, and it's important that we are providing our body the nutrients that it needs in ways that it doesn't necessarily have to work harder to break down. So that's what I have for you in regards to the healing benefits of broth and soups and stews. Please let me know, what you think. What are your thoughts? Are you a fan of soups and stews? Do you ever have them in the summertime, or do you normally have them fall, winter, maybe even into spring? I would love to know what some of your favorite go-tos are. If you even have stories of how these soups and stews or broths have benefited you. Um, there's so many healing components to it, as I just mentioned by breaking it down. Um, but I would like to know your comments and thoughts. So with that being said, I'm going to leave it there. But I will see you next Wednesday for another live chat or training. But I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your week. Please let me know if there is anything you would like to see or have a subject talked about or a training on. I'm here for you and your healing process. So I want to know what you would like to hear about, or maybe something you're struggling with, and I can help pinpoint that and what can be a benefit. So again, with that being said, I will leave it there and I will see you next time. So until then, you guys take care. Have a fabulous rest of your week and middle of September. Take care.